Hey guys, so we're about to start our second week of cyber school, and you did a really great job on the work that I asked you to do last time. And so I'm going to talk about grammar for a second, and specifically, I want to go over the grammar work that we did on pages 52 and 53 of your grammar book. And you've already turned that in. If you haven't turned it in, then you can't get credit for it now because we're about to go over the answers. All right. So we're talking about pronouns being used as predicate nominatives. Predicate nominatives, if you recall, it's the noun that follows a linking verb. And so and in this case, the pronoun is actually a noun. And we have the idea of compound predicate nominatives here as well now. That's two predicate nominatives in a row. And this first question is two predicate nominatives, one of them being a pronoun. The directors of the spring program are Mrs. Grant and either she or her. Now, if you remember, whenever we look at our book, let's see if I can find it in the book. Here's our pronouns. I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. These are the nominative case pronouns. And then the equivalents in objective are me, you, him, her, it, and us, you, them. Okay, so the nominative case pronouns, the objective case pronouns. Now, you is always you, so we can kind of ignore them. If you look at the assignment, it's saying that it's asking us whether we use her or she. She is the nominative case. Her is the objective case. Because we're dealing with a predicate nominative, the answer should be the nominative case. Because predicate nominative implies nominative case. There's their nominative case. Pronouns. Okay? The objective case pronouns would be for things that are objects, like object of preposition, direct object, indirect objects. Okay, so the answer to this one should be, we want to use she because she is the nominative case pronoun. So the directions say cross out each incorrect pronoun, so we're going to cross out her. All right? So that's that one. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, let's look at the next one. The youth group leaders are Pastor Moore and either he or him. This is a predicate nominative because we've got a linking verb here. The word are is a linking verb. Let me get this closer. Okay? Which means that this is a predicate nominative, Pastor Moore, and whatever this is a predicate nominative. We have to use the nominative case, and if you go back to our list, nominative case is he, not him. So we need to cross out him. All right? Next, the student of the year is either she or her. Well, we already know what the nominative case is in this one. Cross out her because she is the nominative case pronoun, not her. All of the workers, the most diligent is either he or him. Since this is a linking verb, we know this is a predicate nominative. Also, we know it's a predicate nominative because we're talking about predicate nominatives here. Okay, so he or him, which one do you think is the nominative case? You look at our list, he is nominative, him is objective. So we want to use nominative case, so we cross out him. The parents who volunteered to help with the field trip are Mr. and Mrs. Smith and them or they. Well, here's the linking verb, which is the word are is the linking verb. So Mr. and Mrs. Smith is a predicate nominative, and then either them or they. Well, if we go back to our list, nominative case is I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. Objective case is me, you, him, her, it, us, you, them. We're choosing between them and they. They is the predicate, or they is the nominative case, so the predicate nominative would be they. We cross out them. The track and field MVP for the year is our linking verb. It's either she or her. We know already up here and here that we crossed out her because she is the nominative case. Pioneers in the field of aviation were Charles Lindbergh and either she or her. Well, were is a linking verb. Lindbergh is a predicate nominative. Charles Lindbergh is. And then we know that she is a predicate nominative. The singers in the duet, now this one we have two different pronouns. It is a compound predicate nominative, but both of the predicate nominatives are pronouns, so both need to be in nominative case. The singers in the duet are either him or he. Nominative case is he, not him. And she or her, we already have done that many, many times. She, not her. Okay? And then the class representatives will be he or him, us or they. We can use the other questions that we've answered correctly to answer this one. Between him and he, the nominative case is going to be he. And between us and they, let's see, didn't we have a they? Well, we've got them and they. Let's look at this. Us is an objective case. They is nominative case. So we got to get rid of us. That's the answer. Now, this question says, write two sentences using pronouns as predicate nominatives. One sentence should contain a compound predicate nominative. Well, a lot of you put just really garbage sentences here. I don't know if you didn't understand or you just thought it would be easier to write anything random. I don't approve of that. From now on, since you correcting this is going to be a requirement, that you better be putting a good answer in there. Now if you're just confused, give it your best shot, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. The two sentences using pronouns and predicate nominatives that we have to write here. One sentence should contain a compound predicate nominative, and the other shouldn't. Remember, a compound predicate nominative, it means that there are two predicate nominatives after the linking verb. Let's do the first one that's just got a simple predicate nominative. Okay, so that one, let's say, let's use the verb is. So let's say Jonathan actually, I'm sorry. If you look at all of these, there is something that describes the person in the beginning. So it'd be like the pioneers are or is Jonathan. The pioneer is Jonathan, or something like that. So let's do the skater is either him or he. We want it to be nominative case, so it is he. And we have to put the skater is he, period. Now that's a really simple sentence, but that is a legitimate answer for this. Now, don't put, when you correct your answers, don't put that. Figure out a way to make this different. But the best principle is she, or something like that. Make up something new. The next one needs to have two things, two pronouns, two predicate nominative pronouns. So I'm going to say the winning teachers were Mrs. Jones and, well, we have to decide. Is the other teacher a girl or a boy? Let's say it's a girl. She. That would be an appropriate answer to that. You follow that? All right, let's turn the page. Let's look at the answers for the next page. All right, so we're looking at objective case pronouns. Okay, these objective case pronouns fall on the right side of our list here. Pronouns, objective case pronouns, can be used as direct objects or indirect objects. Objective case pronouns used as objects must be objective case, yes? And you can see our list: me, him, her, us, them, whom, whoever. I didn't in my list write whom, whomever, so I will. So what do you think is over here then? Yeah, that's right. Who, whoever. Isn't that nice? Okay, so now you know. I'm going to put that up there. I wonder, yeah, that list was in our nominative case on the previous page. I just didn't realize that list was there. Most problems occur when objects are compound. It's helpful to try each pronoun alone in the sentence. Some of you used these. This right here is an example of what to do down below, and that's not what they're trying to do. They're showing you that if the sentence has a compound direct object, Daniel helped you and me, then you try it separately. Daniel helped I. No, that's not right. Daniel helped me. That's correct. So Daniel helped you and me is correct. They're wanting you to check Daniel helped with the word you, and then check Daniel helped with the word me, and see which one. I'm sorry. They wanted you to check Daniel helped I, Daniel helped me, and see which one makes sense to you. But we know because this list tells us which are objective case. So if the verb is an action verb, helped is clearly an action verb. If the verb is an action verb, then we know what follows is not a predicate nominative. That would be a nominative case word. What follows, if it's an action verb, what follows is a direct object, or perhaps an indirect object, but those are objective case pronouns. Okay. And pronouns may be used as appositives. Well, I guess I skipped this one. Sometimes the object is followed by an appositive that says again what it is. For example, Max taught us to play chess, but the 8th graders here is an appositive because it's telling what is the pronoun. Let's clarify what that pronoun really is talking about. Max taught us, not just any old us, the us that are 8th graders to play chess. So this would be an appositive. Okay, now we're looking at this last one. Pronouns may be used as a positive to direct and indirect objects. A pronoun, a positive must be the same. So in this case, there was a positive that the pronoun had an appositive. And in this case, the pronoun is the appositive. For example, the audience applauded. There's your subject and your action verb. Who did they applaud? They applauded the actors. And then we're naming the actors, which is a positive. This right here is a positive. A, P. Peter and her. So this pronoun is an objective case pronoun. See? It's an objective case pronoun, follows a direct object and renames it. That's an appositive, and we've learned appositives before. Okay, so let's look at these questions. You've already done them. We're picking out the objective case pronouns now. We showed either she or her the view from the balcony. Well, which one of those is objective case? Is it she or her? Well, if you look at our list that we wrote, she is nominative, her is appositive, so we need to cross out she, and her is the correct answer. Look at the next one. Ethan gave either him or he the car key. There it is. Him is the objective case. Mei Ling lent either her or she the book she had received for Christmas. Yep. Her is correct because her is the objective case pronoun. Diana took a small bouquet of flowers to her. In this case, to her, yeah, we know that it's her because we just crossed out she here, but to her is actually a prepositional phrase. And that means that this particular pronoun is being used as the object of the preposition. Object of the preposition. Objective case pronoun. So if you've got a pronoun that's being used as the object of a preposition, you don't use these to she. No, not to she, to her. The teacher quizzed us or we over our literature unit. Well, the teacher is the subject, quizzed is the action verb, and then that means that this is a direct object. Well, a subjective case is us or we, objective case. We is nominative, us is objective. Like that. Mom and Dad surprised him with a new laptop. Okay, the last thing, we have to write 3 sentences. But we've got to illustrate rules 3, 4, and 5. I saw some really horrible sentences from some. So you guys need to correct these, and we're specifically trying to deal with these 3 rules. So let's look at rule 3. Most problems occur when the objects are compound. It's helpful to try each pronoun alone in the sentence. Well, this is the rule. It wants you to write a sentence illustrating compound direct objects. Okay? Now, an example is Daniel helped you and me. Let's make a sentence a little better than that. Let's do, what would be a good name? How about Kenneth? Kenneth took food to, and 2 people. Who are the 2 people? Let's say to mother and her. Now, doesn't that sound odd? It might, because we had a sentence similar to that here, Mrs. Jones and she. But that's because we were dealing with a linking verb, and she is a nominative case, and that's a predicate nominative. In this case, we're dealing with an action verb, took. She took food, that's direct object. Preposition, there's one OP and there's another OP. And objective case pronouns are used if they're an object of preposition. Let's look at rule number 4. Okay. Sometimes the object is followed by an appositive. So we've got an object, a pronoun object, an objective case pronoun, followed by an appositive. Here's the example that they gave. Max taught us 8th graders to play chess. So we need, it's something similar to that. We really only have a couple of options here. We know we have to do an objective case pronoun. Us is works, took them is, if we're careful, we can use them. I think we should use us for this sentence just because it's easier. Now you could say, mother told me, comma, her only son, comma. Yeah, why don't we do that? Mother told, that's the action verb, that's the subject. Me, her son, the best story, and I'll use an exclamation mark because it was such a good story. This is in a positive. Her son is in a positive, making sure that we know really what this pronoun direct object, who that pronoun direct object is. So, or at least related, who it is related to, mother. Okay, and then rule 5 is just the opposite. In rule 5, the pronoun is the appositive. to a direct or indirect object that's not an appositive. So, for example, their example was the audience applauded the actors, Peter and her. How about something like, Mrs. Smith awarded the students let's see, let's do Sarah and him the grand prize. Does that make sense? So Mrs. Smith is the subject. She did something. She awarded an action verb. Who did she award? She awarded the students. Well, she actually awarded the prize, which is the direct object. Who received the prize? The students. That's your indirect object. And then Sarah and him is an appositive that's making sure we're positively sure we know who that indirect object is talking about. What are the two students? Sarah and him. So Mrs. Smith is the subject, action verb awarded, indirect object students, a positive Sarah and him, grand prize, or prize is direct object. Grand would be an adjective describing that. Okay, so you make sure you get those corrected. And so you work on that, and I will see you later. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great day. Bye.